So I'm Susan Otten. I'm founder and owner of Indie Do Good, and we call ourselves a non-traditional logistics company. And logistics is anything that has to do with storage or shipping of a product. And so we started in 2016, and by buying a failed Amazon reseller. Not that we aspired to be an Amazon reseller by any stretch of the imagination, but it gave us the lease on the warehouse, their assets, and the team and the warehouse management system. So we immediately unlocked the doors, opened it up, called people back, and started shipping. And so I like to think that we do logistics in a different way. First of all, we're women owned and women run, and the majority of our employees are women because they have a great attention to detail. Do you want a satisfied customer, a satisfied client? I want to delight them. And so that's what we work toward, is really helping our clients not only do a phenomenal job delivering their product, whether it be direct to consumer from their website, whether it be for Amazon, and we have tips and tricks on how to, use Amazon the way it can really help you, i.e., don't think of it as a sales channel. If you make money, count your blessings. It's the world's largest search engine for consumer products, and leverage it that way. And then Amazon is not notorious for doing a great job on accuracy or breakage or things like that. So we help them with that by kitting products together in really safe packaging. So even if the Amazon guy go, oh, I dropped it, so sorry, it's not going to damage your product and won't get to the customer in a way that would not delight them. I think it's really important for clients to understand that not only do we have knowledge in these areas, but we have leverage, we have bargaining power. If you take one product, let's say a small early stage entrepreneur takes one package to the post office and say, hey, what kind of deal can you give me on shipping this box? The clerk will say, well, I'm going to weigh it, I'm going to measure it, and it's going to cost you, $2.90. Okay, but what can you give me as a better price? They're either going to, look at you weird that you're odd or dangerous or call the police or something. But we have that kind of leverage because we take all of our clients together, and at least once a quarter, we're leveraging that power of purchasing, carrier rates, shipping, and packing material with all of our providers, all of our vendors, so that you're going to get the best price, a much better price than you'd be able to get shipping it on your own. One thing that I find across the board with early stage entrepreneurs, if they've not been, starting up a business before, is they don't know the world of logistics. And part of that is because it's not part of the COGS, cost of goods sold spreadsheet. I mean, they're working on their finances of what do the ingredients cost and what does manufacturing cost and what does packaging cost, but they don't factor in the cost of shipping the box, whether it be a single box or a pallet. And thank you, Mr. COVID, but those prices have gone through the roof. And even carrier rates, shipping rates used to be mostly dependent on the cost of fuel because you have to, transport this via trucks all over the country. But that kind of has slipped away because the rules of supply and demand. And now so many people are buying online, and they might go to a store, but they might just as well go to Target.com as to drive to a store and park in a parking lot and walk into a Target store. So there's lots of different things that go into the cost of logistics. And so that's one thing I really, really, really encourage entrepreneurs to think about this before they do their final product run, or their, not their final, I guess, their first production run. And the first question I'm going to ask then is, how are you shipping now? Oh, I'm shipping myself, and my kids love helping me. Oh, okay. Um, okay, we'll put that on pause for a second. Your kids love helping you. Just remember that. And what's your volume and how many SKUs do you have? How many orders do you have a month? Just try to see if you're doing one or two a week, probably don't need to do that. But if you are doing one or two a week now, and you're doing a big production run because you have a new relationship with the new brick and mortar, then maybe it's time, don't ship those pallets to your home garage. But the thing that I think is the tipping point for an entrepreneur is if they're doing their own shipping, I'm going to ask them, um, is that the most important thing that you as the founder and leader of your company can be doing? You know, there's an old saying, you can have it easy, you can have it fast, you can have it cheap, but you can only have two of the three. So which one don't you want? So I think it's important to get in with a logistics company and learn them, learn their team, learn their process and stuff like that before you have a big order at stake. And not that we're going to mess up a big order, but if you're going to mess up, you want to mess up on a little order, a single order, maybe a day's worth of shipping or something. You don't want to mess up on the big stuff because there'll be penalties and you might even lose your space on shelf there. And as far as getting into that space,
Yeah.
we that kind of reminds me of you know that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So our rates are absolutely competitive with the traditional, you know, guys out there. I'd like to think that we add more value, but we don't charge for that added value because we have this strong element of wanting to do good. Um, we we check on third party pricing, you know, with our competitors as frequently as we can. If we're bringing on a new client, we're going to ask them, hey, who else did you shop with? Could we see, do you mind sharing their proposal? You know, we'd love to make sure that we're competitive. Now, if they came with us, you know, you kind of make the assumption that it's good and we were better than the other company, but we'd love to see their proposals if we can ever get our hands on that. And then we work with a logistics consultant who works across a number of 3PL companies, third party logistics companies, to make sure that we're being accurate on our assumptions of pricing. And he's helped us make a couple of tweaks, you know, oh, you're a little low here, you could go a little higher here. But it was a great exercise to make sure that we are on target like we believe we are. And then we do that with him. We have a evaluation on a periodic basis to make sure we're maintaining that because man, logistics is all over the map. I feel like you really got to stay on top of it. That's a classic example of if you snooze, you lose. You don't want to fall asleep at the wheel trying to get product to the right place or at the right price. So you know, we have this relationship where we keep on top of it and make sure that we're being competitive. Um, we could roll up the pricing a little bit because of the value add, but that's so hard that the intangibles are really difficult there